One of the most popular spots in Alaska to view brown bears fishing for salmon is at Brooks Falls. The salmon are swimming upstream to spawn, and the fish have to conquer this 6-foot-high waterfall and the bears in their migration. This video will show you how to get there and what to expect. I flew in from Anchorage, Alaska, early one morning to a town called King Salmon at the head of the Aleutian Islands. It was a smallish twin-engine turboprop plane with very little room inside. There, a shuttle bus picked us up as we got off the scheduled airline and drove us a short distance to a river, the location of a bush airline or a bush taxi service, which used single-engine pontoon planes. The plane taxied out for takeoff, and we flew over vast stretches of tundra and lakes. As I recall, the flight took about 20 minutes. We came in and landed on a lake near Brooks Falls. I had never flown in a pontoon aircraft before, so I was somewhat apprehensive. But the pilot did a great job, and of course he did have a huge landing field. The pilot cut the engine as we got very near the sandy beach, where a young man dragged the airplane into position so the passengers could walk out of the plane, onto the pontoons, and then step onto the beach without getting wet. Nifty. We got ready for the action at Brooks Falls. At the falls, the bears were busy fishing. Sometimes they were successful. Most of the time, they just were waiting, like any fisherman. This bear was quite successful. We'll see more about him later. But first, who travels to this isolated area to view grizzly bears? The answer is a lot of people find their way to this isolated location in Alaska. There must have been 50 people milling around the bar at the lodge. There are cabins and campsites. Reservations for the year open on January 1st, and by noon of the same day, all the spaces have been reserved for the entire year. So, if you want to stay overnight at Brooks Falls to see the bears, plan ahead, way ahead. Fortunately, there are daily flights in and out of the area. Lots of people, like myself, fly in for the day and then leave by nightfall. The bear activity keeps going. You'll notice that in order to eat a salmon, the bear must take the fish to solid ground. It has to hold the wiggling fish down with its paws in order to eat it. Thus, the bear cannot eat fish out in the water. A popular fishing spot is right at the lip of the falls. The bear waits for the fish to jump over the waterfall, then tries to grab it. Now, you may wonder, how am I able to get such nice close shots of grizzly bears? The answer is there's a special observation platform right beside the river. This is the only place to view. And to get to the platform, you have to walk the exact same path that the bears use. It's scary.
Always make noise whenever you're going through. You can go and say, hey bear, yo bear. A lot of times I suggest saying, hey, yo. If you yell bear, people think the bear is right near you. But you can clap your hands, you can sing, whistle, anything that will make a sound. And this is especially important when you're near the falls. Your voice doesn't even carry very far there. Bear bells don't because of the water. And you are coming over hills, and you are coming to grass that is tall as we are. And a 700-pound bear has just walked out with its salmon and lays down right in the middle of the path. And you come over this top of the ridge, and you haven't made any noise, and there's that bear, and he has food, he's not going to be real happy that you're that close to his food. So make noise, let them know that you're coming, and you'll be much safer. And if you're in a bigger group, you're definitely safer. Whenever you get close to a bear, you can't be any closer than 50 yards away. You want to back up if the bear is close. 50 yards away, a bear will look like that picture. Or 50 yards away is about the distance from here to the cabin out the window. 100 yards away if it's a mother with cubs. When you first arrive at the river here at that bend, it's 100 yards to the bridge. 80 yards across. Get an idea. Whenever I get very close to you, you feel uncomfortable. Whenever you get close to a bear, it feels uncomfortable. It does not like other bears, and it does not like humans near it. And if it has just been beat up by a big bear on the river, and you come by and you're too close, who knows? So back off. Give it those distances. But you can be legal and still cause a problem for a bear. Imagine the bear is on the beach, and we try to get the bears to go along the beach to get past the camp. You're all lined up here on the beach. People are all lined up here on the beach. Everybody's 50 yards away from the bear, but the only option the bear has is to go right on up here to the camp. He might have been in the camp before, and we've scared him away. We might have had to shoot him with a shotgun that shoots off like a firecracker, something else to scare him away. He doesn't have a place to go. 50 yards is the minimum, but you still have to give him the right of way. It's kind of easy whenever an 800-pound bear is coming down the trail, and he wants the trail, for you to know to get off the trail. But other times you don't think, when you're taking pictures, that you block this bear in.
When you say get off the trail, you just step into the woods or you cross, and just a few feet off.
As far as you can get. Because when you see this large bear, it's scary. I had some people go down the steps at the bear platform, and they started to walk away on the path. And two bears got into a fight. And this large bear, he was probably 500 or 600 pounds, got to the bottom of the steps, stood up. And 15 feet away were these two people with their backs to the bear and did not know the bear was there. And I yelled at them. I said, "Hey, turn around and get off the trail. Get off the trail." All that bear wanted to do was use that trail to get escape from this other bear that was chasing it. And those people were blocking it. And once they got off there, that bear got back down and he zoomed toward him. And the lady kept moving on back. And that bear then took off up on the hill and was gone. But the lady was so frightened, she was almost in tears because she was sure that bear was charging right at her and not knowing that all it wanted to do was get past her. So whenever you get an opportunity to get off the trail, you want to try to do it in a controlled manner without running. Because if you run, you look like prey. And let the bear know you're human. Hey, nothing else can do this. Nothing else can wave its arms. Don't stand there like this. You look like a caribou. But wave your arms, might clap your hands, say, "Hey bear, I'm moving back, bear," and then move as a group. But watch that you don't trip over anything. And we've had people back close to a bear.
Yes.
That's what I was worrying about.
So you have to kind of look over your shoulder. Your best defense is a lot of people. If you have 6 people spread out in a line, that looks very big for a bear. When a bear is trying to show its dominance, it shows its side. That shows its size to another bear. So we can do the same thing. They will understand that because now it's sort of their kind of language. So don't ever run from a bear. We had a lady here that she was in the woods, can't see very far. While she was walking in the woods, a female moose charged at her, right down the trail. The lady could only get off the trail, and the moose went by, and they're 7 feet tall. And then when she was standing there, she watched the calf go by, and when she looked up, there was a bear an arm's length away. That bear was intent on killing that calf. And what the bear did was came over and started to sniff her. And the lady didn't run. She didn't even move. She just stood there and froze. She did not stare it in the eye. That's the way they back each other down. She started trying to talk to the bear to show that she was human and also to calm herself down. She showed great bladder control because that bear came even a little bit closer, sniffed her, growled a little bit, and then took off. I think the only reason why that lady wasn't harmed was she did the right things about not running. and also that no other people have ever fed bears here, and she had no food with her. Had she been walking the trail with food, and the bear had been fed before, like they used to in Yellowstone, it would have been very easy to just grab that food, harm that woman. Don't take any food while you're out on the trails. Put it up into the food cache right outside here. Make sure that you've gotten rid of any kind of odors like garbage and things like that. Don't leave any of your gear on the ground where the bear can tear it up.
The walk to the platform starts through grass. Can you see the bear walking in the lower left? This is scary. Then the path to the viewing platform starts going through the woods. We move along quickly. Might be hard to spot a bear in here. Uh-oh, there's one with a cub up there on the hill. I think it's at least 100 yards away. Gotta keep watching. This is a scary path. Finally, we reach the viewing platform. There's a simple gate guarding the stairs up to the platform. I've never seen so many big camera lenses. And suddenly a bear walks by right beneath us. Look how easily it climbs that 6-foot wall. And how easily it walks out along the lip of the falls. The bear ends up occupying a premium fishing spot. And another bear climbs to get a little better look around. Most of the time, the bears were patiently waiting for the action to come to them. Then a mother and her 2 cubs show up just below the viewing stand. To me, she looks gaunt and in need of food, but she has to provide for, care for, and protect her 2 children. Right now, I think she's trying to decide if it's safe to leave the 2 kids and go out fishing. Grizzly bears are strong and don't like to have other bears who want to fish in their territory. Eventually, one backs down. I think this guy is wondering where he can fish safely without running into another bear. Our mother bear, the one with the 2 cubs, ventures out to do some fishing. But someone else is already there. They face off, and then she retreats. But at least her kids are safe. Space on the viewing platform is rationed. The day I was there, I got out twice for a total of about 2.5 hours viewing time. This bear caught more fish while I was there than all the rest of them put together. As more bears arrive, there's more chance for interaction in the fight for food. So The bears arriving are looking for food and also trying to stay out of trouble. This bear looks to me as if he's not sure if he wants to go out and join the battle, at least not right now. It looks as if he decides to try feeding farther downstream at a less desirable location. I was told that in the morning, before I arrived, there were a lot more fish jumping. Now, you may have noticed that each bear seems to have its own preferred method of fishing. One of the strangest methods, in my opinion, is a bear that I call the diver. The diver swims underwater, holding its breath, and looks for salmon underwater. These bears act more like amphibians than they do bears, in my opinion. Salmon swim upstream to spawn during the month of July. After the salmon have laid their eggs, they die and float downstream. This happens in September. So July and September are the best months to visit Brooks Falls and see bears fishing. As I said before, if you don't have a reservation to stay overnight at the falls, you can fly back to King Salmon for the night and return the next day. If you're doing photography, bring your longest lens. A tripod is very desirable. If you come just to watch the action, you'll be pleased with how close you are to the action.